for many who live in Chicago, tourists, Joseph Kromelis is a homeless man who resides downtown, is kind of a local legend, everybody knows him. He's this very gentle, very stoic older gentleman who's homeless. And he's, I guess, been nicknamed the Walking Man because he would always dress in a nice suit, walk along downtown along the Michigan Avenue Bridge, that neighborhood. Probably lower Wacker people would know and see him walking through the city. This piece of shit decided he was going to pour an accelerant on Mr. Kromelis and set him on fire while he was sleeping. This comes to us from the Block Club Chicago staff. Walking man set on fire in River North, likely to die, reports say. A man in a black and white hood-rich jacket is being sought in the attack on Joseph Kromelis, who gained local fame by constantly walking downtown streets. The famed walking man, who treks the streets of downtown with flowing gray hair and a steady stride, is in critical condition with severe burns over much of his body after someone doused him with flammable liquid and set him on fire in River North. Joseph Kromelis, 75, suffered burns over 65% of his body and was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital following the 2:50 a.m. Wednesday attack in the 400 block of Lower North Wabash Avenue. Hang on a second, guys. I hate to have this image up, but everybody needs to let this burn into their brains and pass it around in the hopes that somebody knows or who this cockroach is. The Wednesday attack in the 400 block of Lower North Wabash Avenue, where Kromelis was laying on the ground, officials said. A police source told the Sun-Times that we were just told he's most likely to die. The man attacked him and ran off. A nearby security guard used a fire extinguisher to put out the fire and help the victim, police said. He was identified through the medications he was carrying, the Sun-Times said. Police said the attacker fled to the CTA Blue Line, where surveillance videos captured images of him. Authorities said he wore a black and white hood-rich jacket with a hood and gray sandals. He's described as a tall man with medium light complexion. Kromelis is well known to downtown regulars. For decades, he's walked the streets in suits with his signature mustache and long hair. He's been the subject of countless photos of people who recognize him. He was in the news in 2016. This is not the first time, guys. It's not the first time. He was in the news in 2016 when he was attacked on Lower Wacker Drive. Police said someone with a baseball bat attacked him, leaving him hospitalized in serious condition. Here's some video from that documentary that was done on him.
Can you get a widescreen?
I'm sorry?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so I read this story. Kira shared it on Slack a few days ago. I didn't have a chance to look at it carefully until the other night. I really wish we could also hunt down this sex bot in our live chat. I've blocked them, and it doesn't seem to block them. Somehow they keep coming.
Yeah, I got the second one.
All right. So here's where I come to this, guys. Hundreds, if not thousands, of blue light cameras on every fucking corner in this city. Surveillance cameras in every CTA station, every train station. And this is the best that they could do. Isn't it always interesting how our red light cameras never fail in nailing people to gain more revenue to line the pockets of all the fat, slimy fat cats and cronies across the city to take care of things. And while we're continually still told we're broke, we have no money for things. Red light cameras work without fail. Blue light cameras don't. This is all we got. And this is from the CTA station. Now, unless the police are holding information to themselves as to not clue this piece of shit in, that they know where he's at, that they even know that this is the guy in these photos from this particular blue line station. I want to know why these blue light cameras are not more effective in finding people like this. And this is something I kind of intimated before the show, Ed, that I want to add to the pledge of our list of demands for our mayoral candidates. We want every fucking red light camera on every corner in the city converted into a crime camera. They're there. They work. Let's add them to the blue light cameras. Let's start adding that network instead of ripping people off. Also, in the most struggling neighborhoods in the city, as we know, those red light and traffic cameras proliferate more of the south and west sides, where people have literally lost their cars because of the tickets that they can't pay. Because we had Rahm Emanuel throw these things in, and then we had Lori Lightfoot, who said she was going to get rid of them, decide to lower the tier on the speed level so she could start racking in more ticket revenue. We want those cameras converted to because if they work where the blue cameras don't, what fucking good are the blue cameras? Thank you, Ed. Thank you. And repurpose them. Okay? And
because we're not using them as red light cameras anymore.
No. That's fucking enough. And I'll tell you something else, guys. The city of Chicago should be offering a reward to find this guy. The police department should be offering a reward to turn a dime on this guy.
They should have him by now. What the hell are they waiting for?
I've committed personally myself $1,000 reward. It's coming out of my money. It's not Hard Lens Media. It's not Chicago Corner. It's me. I will put up $1,000 if somebody who knows this guy turns a dime on him and it leads to an arrest that leads to a conviction, so long as it is the man who probably killed Mr. Kromelis. I've had it. I can't go out there and find this guy. We can't. But if this $1,000, and look, I know not a lot of people watch this show. Okay, let's be honest. I know we've got a small viewership, but if by some miracle, and I'm going to subclip this segment to put on during the week, by some miracle, all of you good people in the live chat, share this link. I've already got it up on Twitter. I've been sharing it in Reddit. I've been spreading around social media. $1,000 reward to anybody who turns this piece of shit in. I feel helpless that I can't do more, that I don't have more money to offer. But if my offering for a reward might miraculously lead to this guy getting pinched and convicted and thrown in jail, because you know what? This isn't the first time he's done something like this. He had an accelerant with him. This was premeditated. That anybody walks around with what? Lighter fluid in their backpack with his little hoodie outfit and decides he's going to douse a homeless person and set them on fire. This guy is a threat to everybody, not just homeless people. And let me also say, for the city to not prioritize helping the most vulnerable of our population, homeless people across the city, along with what they're not doing in neighborhoods on the south and west sides with kids that are lured by gangs because they don't want to invest in these communities, because they don't want to reopen mental health clinics, because they don't want to reopen schools that they've shut down or provide opportunities for people. This is a fucking crisis. And enough is enough. We're going to get to Lightfoot in a little while. But the fact that they rammed down this fucking casino down everybody's throats with some other very, very questionable circumstances surrounding it that we're going to talk about, while they're ignoring they got money for the casino. They don't have money for the homeless to help the homeless people. They got money to invest in all these new buildings downtown. They don't have any money to invest in the empty buildings and providing housing for people. This should not have happened to this man. I don't want to filibuster. I'm so angry about this to my core that the police don't have anything on this guy, and that it's up to vigilant people who might know someone to share the picture of this guy if he is indeed the assailant. And if the police were willing to release this picture, hopefully the police are on track that this is the guy who did it.
I like to add into this, Jerry. No, you're absolutely right. You're entitled to be enraged, as we all should. Now, for our viewing audience, I take a lot of pride in Chicago. This is my home. I love this city. I truly do. We are sometimes called the second city, the city of broad shoulders, the windy city. No, we're not the Big Apple. No, we're not the city of angels. We're not the Magic City. No disrespect to our people from New York City, Los Angeles, or Miami. This is Chicago. It's a Midwestern city that has its own fair share of ups and downs. The people have been pushed around, but we haven't been kicked out yet. They're trying to gentrify us out of our neighborhoods, north, south, and west, but we're still hanging in strong. This city is known for its courage and strength, not by our politicians. The hell with our politicians. It's the people that make Chicago. It's not the businesses that make Chicago. It's the people. It's not the baseball teams or the sports teams or anything like that make Chicago. It's the people. It's not the buildings either. And I love the buildings. It's not the buildings either. It's the people. Chicago is number one because the Chicago way is that we don't back down. We never go anywhere. We're not leaving. We're staying right where we're at. No matter who's running the city, they might think that they're the top shit, but they ain't. It's the average person in the city. No matter what their color, creed, religion, generation, doesn't matter. It's the people that are the beating heart, the soul of this city. One of those people was the Wandering Man. Yes, an icon. Documentaries are done on him. What's his deal? Ideally, I want him to recover, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But he's one of us. He's one of the people.
Yes, that's so well said, Kit.
So
he represents what Chicago's about. Resilience. The poor man's homeless. And he still, no one should make the best of those circumstances, but he does. And this sociopath over here, we want this guy found.
Right, and I want to add on to this. There's other people like the Wandering Man in this city. We got to help each other out. And the only way we're going to get through this is not through the politicians, not through the establishment media. It's through us working together and finding this monster. Now, something's wrong with this monster. This person's mentally ill. They need to be held accountable with the full extent of the law. But this is evidence enough that we have to invest into mental health. We have to invest into our cities. We have to use the TIF funds to invest in city programs, social programs, getting young people out of horrifying domestic situations so they don't turn into something like this or worse. We as Chicagoans have to come together because I believe that this city is filled with good people. And it ain't the end. And if it's the end, no one told me. No one gave me that memo. We as Chicagoans got to say no more. This goes out to everyone, no matter what neighborhood you in. They might have hyper-segregated us, but that doesn't mean we have to abide by these goddamn rules.
Got to come together.
We got to work together. 2023 is going to be our next city election. We got to vote out these heartless politicians. We got to make sure we get rid of Lightfoot, but we got to make sure whoever's running the city that we elect are going to work for us. Not the other way around. Those days are done. I don't know who put it in our minds that, we got to accept this. Because that ain't the case. You see, there's a thing called the Chicago way. You know? And look, I don't want to play that scene because it might be a little funny.
I'm not playing any funny clips tonight. This is too the brevity of what we have to talk about tonight with all these stories.
What I want to say is, you start fucking with the people to get to the end point, you might end yourself up in the morgue. Because here's the thing to the establishment running this city: you had your fun, you decided to shit around. We're tired of it. So as Chicagoans, let's come together. There's no excuse for inaction. There's no excuse for us sitting down because the Wandering Man,
Walking Man.
He was us, the Walking Man, sorry. The Walking Man, he was one of us. All right, what if that was somebody else? What if that was a kid? What if that was another senior citizen? What if that was a woman? What if it was a pregnant woman? What if it was someone who was crippled? Look, enough, Chicagoans. We know who we are. Let's fight for this city. This is our home, our city, our home. Cry it out from the rooftops. We got to take action now.
And along that line, we are taking action here at Chicago Corner. Some of you may have tuned in on Tuesday, where we unveiled a draft pledge that we are developing called the 2023 Chicago Mayoral Pledge to the City, also known as the North to South and East to West Pledge. You can get some of the initial details that we lined up on Tuesday from Tuesday's live stream. But as you will be watching going forward, we're revising it. We're adding new things to it, and we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Because
a live chatter on our social media, which you want to see added. This is a list of demands as well as a pledge. And when I say we, it's me, Ed, Kit, Kira, and anybody else at Hardlands Media that wants to join us. We are going to go down to City Council during one of their open forums where they allow citizens to speak. And we're all going to have a specific amount of time that they're going to cut us off. And what's going to happen is they're going to cut me off. Ed's going to step in and continue the list of demands. They're going to cut Ed off. Kira's going to step in and continue the list of demands. So these demands can be heard. This is what the citizens of Chicago demand. It's what they deserve. And enough is fucking enough.
Yeah. And the basic premise or the basic pledge is, as a candidate for mayor of City of Chicago, will you pledge to support all of the citizens of Chicago, north to south, and east to west? And of course, we have details as to what we define as supporting the citizens of Chicago. But clearly, one of those parts is going to be supporting those of us with the least, not just those of us with the most. And so clearly, the city has failed walking man. And they need to, at the very least, catch this piece of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I can't censor myself anymore. It's just my head will explode. But I admire the fact that you can temper yourself.
And we need to make sure that the rest of the city is not only safe but supported in a way that the citizens deserve. And so you can't just run for mayor and expect to just get our vote because you're not the other guy. You got to work for us. That's your job. And we're going to tell you what we need.
It goes to their head immediately once they step into that fifth floor, Ed. Rahm Emanuel, Lori Lightfoot, who we actually thought might be a progressive because that's what she claimed she was. She was going to be the reformer. She's Rahm 2.0, 1 inch shorter.
Well, we got news for the machine. You're all rusty. You're running out of parts. There's a supply chain shortage, and your game is over.
Well, as I said, guys, $1,000 reward to the person who brings this guy, leads the police to this guy. Spread it around. Share it on your social media. When I subclip this segment, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Please make sure to spread it around because I want this guy. I want this guy in custody. I want to see him charged. I want to see him held accountable. I want to see him thrown in jail for as long as they can keep him there.